work the map from there, which is not an easy task up against a team like RNG.
Absolutely. Well, we'll get into it, Jonathan. Game number 1 here. Let's get those predictions underway as well. Of course, we've got to try and get those points as much as we can here. It's going to be an interesting match nonetheless. I mean, that's the one thing, right? Like, you expect a very kind of fun matchup here between the side of RNG and, of course, Aster.Aries. See if they can actually do with Ghost this game, and especially Somnus. Like, I'm very concerned for Aster.Aries end, but if Somnus has a good game on this mid-quap, I feel like the game's almost just over.
Yeah, it can really just snowball out of control. We were talking a bit about the lack of control that RNG has for, say, the Morphling in particular. You kind of have the same issues on Aster.Aries. You only really have this play coming out from Ponlo. He's most of your control. You've got the silence as well from Yi, but that's not really how you tend to start these fights with us. It gives ample room for most heroes to kind of dodge out. Somnus might be able to just get a cheeky blink out before the silence lands. And of course, you've always got the Doom from Shangse, but Doom is a pretty long cooldown to play aggressive with. So Ponlo's going to have to be the source of all of that laning pressure. If they do want to prioritize that in the laning phase, 4-minute rune, 6-minute rune really come into mind for the Earth Spirit rotations later on.
It just seems like a rough game though for Earth Spirit. Like, I appreciate that you can secure the runes very easily as ES, but then who's he playing with this game, John? That's my problem. Like, where do you rotate to find kills here as an Earth Spirit? You've got an off-lane Doom, you've got a mid-DP, and you've got a safe-lane Morphling. Make matters worse, your Pos 5 is an Omni Knight. So who exactly does Ponlo play with?
I think he's just got to play mid. Your best bet is just get Chinstance off onto Somnus with Yi. You know, get the silence off, get the stun off, then get the follow-up silence out from use DP and try to run down from there. Somnus should still have a pretty good time in this lane, but the DP does tend to at least right-click trade very nicely, and there's always the threat of Spirit Siphon down the line. Somnus will have to consider maybe the blink if the lane does get dicey, but he's doing a fine enough job just dancing around, and does go for that level 1 Shadow Strike that we tend to see from the Queens of Veins, just to trade a little bit better. Rune control, again, very important for both sides. Somnus will have the movement advantage with the blink up, but you've always got the threat of a roll-in from Ponlo if he does get the space to move into that lane. Although there are good wards watching that mid to prevent any sort of support rotations.
Yeah. Of course, top lane, you've got the Morphling there being played by Ulu against Chalice, and Red Panda is there on the Omni Knight, of course, supporting that Morphling, but already a bit of a rough time. Sexnova there as well on the pause for Chen. Ulu already having to salve up, and this is not going to be the easiest lane in the world for the Morph. Obviously, we always talk about it. You get to that level 3 mark, you get the level 2 attribute shift, and it does become a lot easier. But it does seem like Chalice will have a decent time with Xnova, just applying a lot of pressure in this top lane, and imagine a very early safe lane tower to go down might just happen here as... Well, Red Panda on the Omni, he really can't do much. Not in this lane.
Now he's trying to trade blows with Xnova. He at least keeps the camps blocked up, but there are still further camps for Xnova to pick up anyway. Does get himself a Frost Creep. Gonna have a little bit more armor, and he can't chase down. You just don't have the option to actually be aggressive. He doesn't even have the value point in Purification yet, stuck at level 1. So you can't even just top up Ulu when he's fully Agi-morphed up to keep him farming that lane. Just gonna have to soak a little bit until they can sustain through that.
I'll tell you what, one of the most annoying creeps that to have to play against here is going to be the Ogre Frost Mage, because the +5 armor with the movement and attack slow as well, it's just so annoying. You can't trade evenly now. Not that they could anyway with the Morphling Omni, but now it's impossible to trade with them. Like, +5 armor at the 2-minute mark, it's just not fun to play against. We should have a look at the final lane, John. Of course, bot lane, you're going to have the Doom and Ponlo's Earth Spirit against Ghost and Kaka on the TB and the Tusk. Who wins out this matchup? Like, I feel like Kaka and Ghost can certainly find some kills here with some tag team and metamorphosis. On the other end of things, I suppose you could probably go for some kill potential here for Aster.Aries down a bot lane as well. But again, with the Doom, it does feel a little bit more challenging until you've got a few levels up.
Yeah, level 2 isn't the most aggressive time for Doom. Maybe by the time you hit level 3 with level 2 Scorched Earth, that's where it could feel nice after a nice roll in and silence out from Ponlo. That could be one way. It is a little bit tougher to achieve that. You're already seeing Ghost have a good time. Shangse kind of keeping up in form, but it is a Doom. You just kind of devour and keep up there.
Mid lane, Somnus barely able to blink away. He's going to be all right. Just fighting over some water runes and even the Ogre Frostmage coming in to give him some bonus armor. Why the hell not? You're gonna love that from X-Nova. Like, he's just microing this Ogre Frostmage between the top and mid lane just to give bonus armor to everyone. You love it.
Yeah, just trying to ease up that pressure coming out onto Somnus. The lane is going a lot rougher here for him. As again, DP just stands back, spams out Crypt Swarm, doesn't care too much for the right-click trades. You've always got the opportunity to trade back. Somnus is bullying pretty hard, but if the Spirit siphons up and the Blink's down, then you kind of have a little bit of an issue in trading there. So again, we'll see if he can get better control once the power runes start to come up. Water rune's not as big, but certainly a nice power rune here and there can shift that
bot lane.
quite hard.
A lot of damage flying out here onto the Doom, but a very nice roll in from Ponlo to land onto Ghost as Kaka now in a bit of danger, but Ponlo going a little bit too far, might pay for it and will. He wanted a couple extra right clicks onto Kaka, but didn't really respect the damage flying out from Ghost.
It's pretty big. You pop the Metamorphosis, it's level 2 mate already up. You don't have the best durability there on the Earth Spirit. And this double melee lane for Aster.Aries, it's just a bit rough. It's not coming off to the same way that you're seeing Chalice kind of achieve up against Ulu, where he's just bullying the Morphling hard. Terribly, it's just farming freely, and Ghost is just going to be able to hit some item timings if you're not careful.
Dude, this is so annoying. Look at X-Nova. He's got these two creeps. He's got the damn Satyr Mind Stealer now as well. So you got the mana burn going on. It's like you can't trade harassment because bonus armor, and now you're just gonna have no mana. This is gonna be so frustrating for Aster.Aries in the safe lane. It really has to be.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to really do much. Like, their Doom is down bot. We expected the Doom as sort of the counter pick to Chen with the Devour. They can't really do that right now. I mean, Shungsa is just stuck bot, having to deal with Kaka and Ghost. So you're getting max value out for X-Nova. Like, it doesn't matter if you block that one small camp. You can't block all of your own camps. In the Dire Jungle, it's very easy for X-Nova to kind of just dip into and steal a lot of stuff off. And Red Panda just doesn't have anything to do. Like, he's got literally nothing. No mana. Does have at least some stick charges. Has Heavenly Grace and Hammer of Purity. Not even the heal coming out, again, to sustain Ulu if need be. They're going to be really hard-pressed to get farm on Ulu this game. Like, this is going to be a slow game for Aster.Aries, at least from Morphling, because it's just the nature of the hero. And Red Panda does tip out X-Nova. He has been a massive nuisance.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give your respect over when there's a good Chen player like this. Like X-Nova, I kind of pointed this out earlier, but he's sending the Ogre between top and mid lane, just handing armor to everyone. The Somnus, who was having a bit more of a challenging lane against the Death Prophet, with that bonus armor, he's a little bit better off, I'd say, in the mid lane. And well, I don't think Red Panda's going to find this Ogre either, John. He's got the Hammer of Purity, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think it's just going to keep running. We'll find out in a moment, Red Panda. Does he have the damage? Oh, he does in the end. He gets the right click. Very nice. Red Panda. He'll be fine. Very, very nice CS from him.
Yeah. Issue is you can always pick up another creep. They get the potato creep this time. And the mana burn's still a big issue, because you just mana burn down something like the Morphling. It's not going to feel good. You need that mana to kind of shift around. War Region, Ulu's going to have to pop on himself. All the lanes are going RNG's way, maybe except mid. You're still seeing that lead coming out for Yi. Although, again, Somnus is kind of balancing very well, dropping Yi to pretty low levels. But Yi is still set to kind of have that level 6 timing, and that's where Aster.Aries needs to play. We haven't seen a rotation out yet from Ponlo, although he's making his way forward now.
See what he can get done. Into the mid lane he goes. You don't have any points in silence, so the geomagnetic grip not really there. You don't really have one on the DP either. He hasn't skilled it up. So Somnus, as long as he saves his blink, he should be just fine. I don't think they have the lockdown for him. Bit of an awkward rotation. I mean, unless they can bait the blink, which they do now, but Somnus is by the tier 1 tower, you've got to try and get him in the next 10 seconds while it's on cooldown. And it already seems too late. They're going to try. Roland is there. Kick away. Somnus, he's got blink back up. Too late. I'm confused about this. Like, nobody goes for silence, and they still try for the kill. In goes Kaka onto Ponlo now. They're going to try and trade anyway. Slow is there. Tonlo really can't roll out of this, though. He will try, but it's not going to work out. And, well, again, you don't have silence on either of your heroes, so it's a bit of an awkward rotation to try and make, but it goes back to the draft, right? Ponlo has nobody to play with. This is one of those desperate Earth Spirit games where you need to find something to do.
It feels like he would have had someone to play with if anyone went for the silence. Like, as long as he had that additional control, he might have had a window to play, but now they're really just gonna have to play passive. You have no one to connect to, all your cores are just wanting to farm. They run down, Red Panda once more up top, and there's really no counterplay to that. You are giving space out to Ulu. He can't really contribute there either. Not if your affiliates are farming strongly enough, and Ulu just drops a lot of HP there from Chalice running up. Once he has that Rolling Thunder, kill threat really opens up for RNG up top, and everything just lines up for them.
It is getting worse. Shengxi goes down bottom lane. That'll be 4-1. Ghost picking up another kill on this Terrorblade. That'll be his second of the game, and look at mid lane again, John. They're trying to focus on Somnus. But nobody has silence yet. So they're going to try and maybe force out the blink again. Hold that thought, because Ulu now in trouble up at top lane. X-Nova's slowing him up with the Ghost, but Ulu is going to be fine to back his way out. TP's coming in mid lane to fill up the bottle of Somnus, so he's going to be healthy once again. In fact, they're going to try and make their play onto the DP now. Great shards out. There is a Spirit Cypher to try and keep him alive, and he is doing a decent job of it. Back Somnus now, dropping low. Kaka, he'll be targeted and does go down. Meanwhile, Somnus, he's out of mana for that Sonic Wave. He just really needs a bit more, and there you go. He has it now, but the stick charges and Fairy Fire were there from Yi. So he's barely going to survive, and tips are out. Somnus, he won't be happy with that.
It's a fair bit to commit. Still loses his support, but opens up the map a bit more for RNG. They managed to take out the top tier 1. You are not in a very comfy position here for Ulu to farm that jungle yet. No Morbid Mask. He's going to have to juggle around his HP highly effectively. And again, RNG's just created a room of space for Ghost, a universe of space for Ghost down bot. Like, he is uncontested. He's free farming. You're not getting that same pacing out from Shangsa. He's still trying to work onto the Midas, and this is where the greed of Aster.Aries really just shows. This lineup just doesn't have many options. They still haven't been able to play off the back of the EXO. Still no silence up as well on Yi. Ponlo has the value point, so maybe going onto Somnus now feels a little bit better, but it still feels like a tough target to jump.
Yeah, certainly does. Like you mentioned, I mean, in the meantime, like, all this focus has been on Somnus, but the side lanes have gone so well for RNG. Ghost completely free farming, 2 kills up, and Chalice is right behind him on the Pango. Having a very good time. Almost has the Diffusal Blade up on the Pangolier. That's going to be a very early timing, considering he already has the Orb of Corrosion and Brown Boots up. That's a little bit of a cause of concern here for the side of Aster.Aries, because once the Diffusal Blade is available for Chalice, he just joins the team and fights non-stop. There's no reason to stop.
You just run down. You can always make Ulu feel uncomfy. Heck, even the Doom's not going to enjoy that TP. Might be able to tank through a little bit more. But all of these heroes are very reliant on their mana. They're just very heavy on the spell casting. None of them just kind of focus in and try to hit. So you're going to have a lot of value from that early timing out from Chalice. And he's really just not leaving the lane. He knows the moment he leaves, Ulu's going to be able to find some farm. Just keep shoving in that lane. Keep preventing Ulu from dipping into the jungle and just
roll in. They're trying for Somnus. They do not land the stun. Another silence out. It's not going to matter. Somnus is fine. Meanwhile, Ghost, he does end up finding Shengxi down a bot lane. So you do have another kill for the TB. This Tusk Terrorblade combination proving to be so powerful. In RNG, they'll get started on the bot tier 1. Aster.Aries still focused on Somnus, but they're not finding the kill that they wanted.
Yeah, it's just not quite lining up. Lots of big openings coming out for RNG. Aster.Aries, for their part, trying to go for the mid with the Exorcism pop, but Somnus just immediately TPs back in. The Siege Creep is there, providing some damage, but Chen army's here as well. It's not going to take... They're not going to be able to do as much as they'd want onto that mid-tier 1. That's a massive ult to commit, with no clear team fight breaking out, and Chalice decides to rotate mid now as well.
See what happens here. Aster.Aries. going to back off even with the exorcism. Ponlo barely able to roll out just before Chalice was in range. Gives the voice line as well. Chalice, he won't mind too much. I mean, it's such a short cooldown. They'll just get back to farming, finish off that diffusal blade. Only about 300 gold away from having the full item up. And that's when the fun really starts. But Aster.Aries are going to try and punish. They have smoked up top lane. Ponlo and Red Panda currently chasing the Pango, knowing he doesn't have the Rolling Thunder up. They just need a nice initiation here on Chalice. Even Yi showing up now. The roll, it's going to be on target. This will be a great pickup for Aster.Aries, and they will be able to secure Yi the one to take it.
And they needed a kill to come out. They finally punished Chalice for just kind of farming pretty forward alone. They might be able to find a little bit more. X-Nova, also a bit forward.
He certainly is, Ponlo. A nice roll in, right on target, and X-Nova. They'll pop the Hand of God, but it doesn't seem to make the difference. Another nice kill here for Aster.Aries, and seems like they are slowly finding their footing in this game one.
They're finding a lot more back and forth trades. I think the big issue still stands is how much Ghost is getting. This guy's already 7k on that Terrorblade, free farming in that bot jungle. Yasha up, Dragonlance up, into the Manta style next. And you're just not stopping it. You know, you're not hunting it down, you're not making rotations, you're forced to just go for those pickoffs up top. But that is just so much room for this massive win condition and Ghost to keep building up. You are slowly building up in Shangse. I think the important timing now is just like this blink on Doom. Blink BKB ideally, but even just the blink, an opportunistic Doom on one key target can give Aster.Aries a lot more in this game. So we'll see if that's something Shangse will want to do, because we've seen a lot of Dooms hit a good blink timing and still wait for the BKB afterwards. You do not want to be that passive.
Uh-oh. Shangse, I mean, you spoke of the Devil, John. He's in trouble again. Heavenly Grace not going to save the life of the Doom. He will drop. Kaka with the tag team, already max level tag team. It's just way too much damage.
They just rip right through. He's not that durable just yet in the Doom. He's still in that phase where he wants to farm. It does look like he will opt for BKB first, which does make enough sense. Red Panda.
Now, in trouble. Is going to drop as well. Kaka, once again, setting up perfectly, though. Yi is going to rotate. Do they have a way to stop the TP? Yes, they do. They'll find a support. Problem is, John, RNG, they are finding a mid-tier 1 tower while all this is happening, and oh my god, look at the HP pool of this Earth Spirit. Lost 2/3 of his HP with one swashbuckle. That's ridiculous.
It's not a fun game for Ponlo. Just not able to do as much as he'd want right now on that hero, as you mentioned, Mike. Just no one to connect with. If you did go mid, it did feel like that value point with Silence might have led to some kills. Just not quite there early enough. Chalice still keeping an eye out.
Oh,
so
no.
does combo.
Chalice, perfect position. Silence doesn't connect. Roll doesn't connect. Chalice just walks out. Thank you very much. Aster.Aries, unfortunate to say the least there with that smoke. Do not find anything. Immediately broken here by Chalice. And John, I can't help but bring up the point you've been bringing up all game. Ghost is really getting out of control now. I mean, this man's 3k ahead of the Doom already. This is a Midas devoured Doom. He's 3k ahead.
Yeah, he's had too much. He's gonna have the Manta style very soon. Double smoke out from RNG with Kaka and Chalice. And this kind of combination is what we were talking about from draft. Tusk plus Pango could just run down without really expending too much as well. They might find some good kills up top. They do have a good ward watching this area here too.
Uh-oh. Shangse, he's had a rough game already. Kaka on target once again. Oh, wait a minute. The Rolling Thunder gonna knock him out of the shards, and in comes Ponlo with the Magnetizer, trying to fight back. In fact, Sonic Wave, though, gonna come out. Somnus lands on 3, but there's their Guardian Angel out. Red Panda looking to try and turn this one as they have got X-Nova down. That's 1 for the side of Aster.Aries. Can they find a bit more? Ponlo, he'll drop a Kaka. He's going to give his own life away for that kill. As now Ulu trying to move in for more. We'll go right after Chalice. It's looking like a decent team fight for Aster.Aries, but they've got to back out. At least for now, they are slowly being chipped away at. Yi, very, very low now on the Death Prophet. Luckily, there's no follow-up here to finish off the DP's life. But ultimately, not a bad team fight for Aster.Aries this time. A 2-for-1 trade. Only supports going down during this team fight, but Still a bit of a win here for the Dire. Chalice, he's stuck around. Ponlo, has he gone too far? He has for now. Somnus, he's got no mana, but it won't matter. He's got the right clicks.
Yeah, Ponlo just respawned, TP, tried to roll, tried to make a play, dies again, goes back. Alt-tab moment for him just now. I mean, look, it was a better fight for Aster.Aries. They managed to find a lot more with those 2 support kills, and considering that they are like 3k behind, very worthwhile. Issue is, these are not the kills you really want to find, because Ghost is still farming up, Chalice is still a massive issue, Somnus still hasn't died at all in this game. Like, even if you say kill off Somnus or Chalice once or twice in the next few minutes, you have to find a way to jump Ghost, because this guy, he is just massive, and you do not have the burst on hand to deal with that. Interesting to see here as well, though, Mike. Ulu is working onto the Ags on the Morphling, so I suppose he'll be able to steal some of that Agi away from the TB if he does decide to morph into him. All of that kind of stuff. Still, they got to move quick here in Aster.Aries because Roche is being taken by RNG, and yeah, that's not going to last long.
No, it certainly isn't. The tag team just making it way too easy. And that'll be Roshan, #1 to go the way of RNG. No problems here. Ghost, he'll take the Aegis for himself. What concerns me for Aster.Aries especially, John, like we keep talking about this TB's farm, but once the Skadi's up, you're ready to go, right? Like the Morphling, it's going to be a real tough time against that Skadi.
Yeah, you're not going to have a good time. It's going to be a massive nuisance to play against that. As a morph, you're very far away from picking up your own, say, Satanic to counteract it. So you won't really have the play. They are shoving in top. There is a BKB now up in Chungsa, so our Doom should be able to hold his ground and look for that big Doom target he wants, but whether or not that's enough, if he can gap close fast enough, is another question.
Radiant's bottom tower
Top
is under
T2
attack.
tower.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Aries. Now hanging around top lane, they'll see Ghost.
Radiant's bottom tower
Ghost does
is
have
under
backup
attack.
around the corner and just doesn't really flinch anyway. He's got the Aegis up, so nothing to be afraid about for the TB. RNG just really controlling 2/3 of the map here. Aster.Aries. Only 5k behind, but it feels a lot more when it's this TB who holds all the net worth lead. That being said, though, if you kill Ghost in the middle of a team fight, that whole net worth lead is gone. Ghost, speaking of the devil, has been spotted. Smoke broken on Yi. Ghost, he'll get a reflection off and only see the DP for now. RNG, oh, nice roll in. Ponlo, he's going to find the main target, but the Aegis is still up. Ponlo, he might drop, but there is your Guardian Angel. In comes the Rolling Thunder, and now a Sonic Wave out. Ponlo, he's still alive, but eventually he will drop to Ghost. RNG, expending quite a bit for that kill, but it won't matter. They'll be able to move in onto that T2 mid tower. Ulu, he's going to try and fight back. In he goes and out he goes. Yi, in the meantime, dropping so low to the right clicks of Ghost. And it's back onto the T2 mid tower once again here for the Terror Blade.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They just can't contest it. They absolutely cannot.
Dire's middle tower
He's
has
way too
fallen.
big. The angle coming up from Ponlo was really good. I think if you had a follow-up, say, Doom with maybe a Centaur War Stomp, you might feel pretty nice about that and look for an opportunity to hold the Doom for the second life. Didn't have any of that lined up, though.
Radiant
Smoke out from
are
RNG, going down bot. Good scan to spot out. Shengsa in the firing board again.
Shanxi, he's had such a rough time on this dude. Look at this. Here we go again. They even voice line him. How rude of Somnus. There's another. Somnus will take that one on the Queen of Pain. 6k advantage now, 20 minutes into this game, number
Dire's
one.
bottom tower is under attack.
11-7 is the scoreline, I believe. And, well, it's down to the bot tier 2 tower now. Final outer tower standing for Aster.Aries. Again, John, they're not out of the game yet, but they are pretty damn far
Dire's
behind.
structures are fortified.
It's only getting tougher.
Nah, it really is.
Dire's
The only
bottom
things
tower
I see
is under
repairing
attack.
this is the Blink and Chungsa. How much the Ags does for
Dire's bottom
Ulu is a
tower
different
has
question. He's
fallen.
really pocketing the money right now. Could just maybe buy the BKB for protection or the Manta
Dire's
queued up.
bottom tower is under attack.
But that Blink Doom is going to be key. Maybe the Ags as well does manage to farm up, but it doesn't feel like they have a lot of time left here in Aster.Aries. Their high ground defense it's not the most amazing thing in the world. It's not like you're playing against a threat of Black Hole. It's not like you're playing against the threat of Chrono. You're playing against the threat of Doom onto one.
Chalice, he'll go for the Purge on Ulu. Waveform away, Swashbuckle away. Snowball's going to chase him down, however. It actually does end up landing here from Kaka, but they don't have the follow-up. So Ulu going to be just fine to continue walking his way back towards the base. Instead, now the focus is on Ponlo. He'll go for a rollout. Does have a TP available, but won't end up popping it quite yet. He'll hang in the tree line. Somnus probably assuming he has already TP'd out. I think Ponlo realizes he really can't allow these lanes to be pushed in. Just got to stick around and keep the lanes forced out as much as he possibly can. As RNG surely are going to be looking to try and move high ground rather soon. Though I do say that John Ghost is about to have his Aegis wearing off in 30 seconds, so maybe not. Maybe you wait for the secondary Roshan.
I don't feel like there's a massive need from Ghost for that second Aegis. He could just kind of finish up his Scotty and just plant his ground forward. They haven't been able to really make a massive dent on that Terrorblade. RNG's been doing a great job of just protecting him every step of the way. Aster.Aries would enjoy that added time though, so I'm sure they're not going to be asking any questions. Blink Up and Shengse working onto that Shard, and Ags next. And the Ags can be big. An AoE Doom means that anyone trying to jump in to save the Terrorblade can't do so. If Kaka tries to go for the Blink Snowball save, it's not going to come out. And that could be all you need. Just a nice big AoE Doom, but and the Ag still ways off.
Oh, they missed the stun mid lane. Chalice is going to be just fine. Wall Stomp, obviously a very low AoE, only 250 in terms of radius, so very easy to miss, especially as that Doom. Aster.Aries still just going to hang around that Dire jungle. I must admit, John, I love the creeps that X-Nova's got as well. Like, he's got the Ogre Frostmage for some bonus armor. He's got an Alpha Wolf for the bonus damage. He's even got the old, that little Centaur, the Centaur Corsa for the magic resist. And for a bit of push, Jonathan, just a bit of spice, they've got the Dark Troll Summoner. You'd love to see.
Yep, it's a very well balanced mix of creeps in the army here for X-Nova. So he's got everything he could ask for if they do decide to fully commit. Lots of damage that can still come out as well. And he's always got the option down the line to get his Ag Shard for a couple of Ancients, but not quite there yet. Scan out the spot for you though.
Yeah, X-Nova, he'll go for a run, but the Boulder Smash is there to slow him down. Back in with the roll, X-Nova should drop, but stick charges are there, buying a bit more time. Eventually he will go down. In for another. Kaka also getting caught out on the Tusk. Will buy himself a little bit of time with the Snowball, but ultimately is going to go down. So 2 going down for the side of RNG. And Aster.Aries, I mean, they've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, they find a lot of back. Would have really good smoke this time around, finding the 2 isolated sports. Again, not the big kills you'd want, but it does allow you to bounce back a little bit more still. Key timings coming out here for RNG. Scotty fully finished on Ghost. Terrorblade's just going to be a massive beast. Morphling's not going to feel good. Attribute shifting around. Somnus still saving up onto the Lincolns. Just going full defense here on the Quap. But the Lincolns might throw Shingse on for a loop. So you have to really be cautious now with your Doom target. How you prioritize on that. Chalice, who's also had a really good game in Pangolier, already has his Basher up. There's more utility coming out from the Swash. And for Aster.Aries, I mean, props to them though. No high ground action yet. They've got some of their triangle in their control. The build-up can still happen, but they need to constantly get
Caught out, and the Snowball is going to buy a bit of time. Chalice still in trouble, but a big Sonic Wave. Somnus! He's going to push everyone back, but it won't matter. Chalice is down. He'll buy back immediately. Kaka also will drop, has buyback, but won't pop it yet. It's Aster.Aries. They are going to back their way out. They don't want the team fight. Not anymore. Yi, he's still going, however. He'll pop the BKB and just walk out as all Ghost. He gets blocked by the shards. A little bit unfortunate. If that was the shards out from Ulu. Just blocking his way, so a nice little play from the Morphling. RNG, they can still try for Roshan. It is up in 1 second. X-Nova will scout it out for the team.
Yep, Creep Army does find it out. So RNG's got a clear path forward. No Doom available on Aster.Aries. That means you really don't care too much here on RNG's end. You should be free to do what you want. Get that secondary life, get the shard, although Ponlo.
Oh, Ponlo. Not sure what that was about, Ponlo. It's sometimes you just feel like rolling, John. In goes Kaka now, onto Red Panda. Yeet, Somnus, gonna move in, onto the Omni, and that should be a secondary kill to come out. Awkward mistakes out from Aster.Aries now, and it's costing them a few kills, including the Roshan kill. They even found Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, look, Aster.Aries kind of overcommit back. Ponlo coming in, knowing that the Roche is going, maybe eyeing an angle for a bit of a steal. You didn't have follow-up. You didn't have Doom available on Changse. You do have the Exorcism, but BKB was still on cooldown for you. So you weren't quite safe using your entire repository of spells. With the Aegis up, easy time onto the high ground here. Early Fortify tossed out by Aster.Aries. That will refresh when the tier 3 tower does fall. But whether or not they have enough to really stop Ghost here is another matter. They need that Doom. And it's still on cooldown, even on the respawn.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The top rack's no problem here, Aster.Aries. Not able to really commit for a defense.
Radiant's bottom tower
RNG though,
is under attack.
play it conservatively. There is going to be a smoke out, however. Aster.Aries want to try and punish any stragglers. Keep in mind, the Aegis is still up on Ghost. Roll in from Ponlo. Will land onto Somnus. Who do they want first? It seems like Chalice is going to be the target. Meanwhile, Ponlo, he's already down. Doom was committed. Kaka trying to save the day, but Chalice is gone. Kaka still going for a run. Will make it at least for now, but Ponlo, he's on the chase once again with the buyback, but in goes Somnus, looking for the dieback on the Earth Spirit. Meanwhile, Ghost gets a Sunder off. Yee's in trouble. He will cop the Sonic Wave, and Somnus somehow blinking out in time. Yee, he's the one to drop onto the Doom Shang-Chi. He's not going to make it out either. Ghost is just way too big. Ulu, he'll waveform away, but the chase is still going. He'll go for the TP out and will barely make it. But RNG, they are not done yet. Red Panda, he will get caught. He will be the third to drop. Aster.Aries now, back in onto the high ground. Everyone from the Dire side does have buyback available if they want to try and force a defense. It's just looking rather tough into the meta and the Aegis of Ghost. You may as well just hold on to one lane of barracks and hope for the best after. RNG, they will certainly secure that second lane.
They can't really commit for another fight. Like, they use the Doom off. It's going to be a full minute this time until it's back up. Ponlo just looking to play tag a bit, but really doesn't have much else to do.
Rolling it again. He's going to try and find somebody. There's the silence out, but Somnus is there to just delete him. That's a dieback on the Earth Spirit. Zulu now. Ulu! Uh-oh. Tips out from Ghost. GG's called. They've had enough. Gets absolutely blown up. I'll tell you, RNG, they were in control of this game number one the whole time. John, I really do think it does go back to draft. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. It was just so greedy. Nothing to play for this Earth Spirit. You have a pos 5 Omni that I just don't know what they would try and do is my point.
Yeah, it was really greedy coming out from Aster.Aries. And they needed so much farm on the Doom and Morphling. I think we've seen this kind of combination before, and if you have that kind of duo from the offlane and safe lane, it just takes forever to come online. And, you know, it didn't help that you had a very passive 5 and a very active 4 that didn't have the best lane to commit into on mid. Like, you didn't have the early silence coming out there from Yi, and without that, you can't gank a Quap. Like, you really lack control on the side of Aster.Aries with only the Earth Spit to be reliable on. Maybe the Doom with the Blink, but that also took way too long.
Yeah. Well, let's have a look at the scoreboard and see exactly what happened here. We can have a bit of a refresher here, John, and obviously you can see Ghost. I mean, 10-0-3 on the TB, 22k net worth. He was just massive. Somnus, shout out to him as well, John, 6-0-8 on the Queen of Pain, completely unkilled on the Quap as well. And sadly for Aster.Aries, John, I mean, Yi had a decent game, 6-1-4 in the Death Prophet, but apart from that, nothing really else happened. Like, Ulu tried to farm, but you look at the disparity. He was 10k behind Ghost at the end of the game.
Yeah, it's just a lineup that couldn't do much. Like, he had a very inactive mid to an extent than the off lane and safe lane. Like, you had no one that could connect to mid when Exorcism was out outside of Ponlo, and Red Panda has nothing to contribute. If you had something else beyond the Doom and maybe beyond the Earth Spirit, you might have had a little bit more play to apply that pressure onto Somnus, but we'll see if that kind of draft adjustment is made for game number 2.
Absolutely. We are going to head off to a very short break, and right after that break, we'll be back with game number 2 between Aster.Aries and RNG.